Good Monday morning. Let's take a look at what we've lined up for you on today's show.
Today, Dr. Dan Thompson visits with Dr. Tom Nofsinger, a veterinarian and member of Production Animal Consultation, a science-driven, people-focused group of advisors serving animal protein producers worldwide. They'll be discussing low-stress animal handling and how human interaction influences the performance, health, and attitude of cattle, swine, and sheep from conception to consumption. Stay tuned to learn more after the break. Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress, powered by Kansas farmers. This segment is brought to you by Roy Fry Western Lifestyles, dressing Northeast Kansas their Western best for almost 60 years.
Welcome to Doc Talk, and Tom, thanks for joining me.
It's a pleasure to be here, Dr. Dan.
It's always great to have you. Folks, Dr. Tom Nofsinger is a veterinarian. He's from Benkelman, Nebraska, and he is a member of a group, a veterinary group, called the Production Animal Consultation Group, or PAC. And today, Dr. Nofsinger, for as many years as I've known you, and all the talks and the travelings that you do, and your passion for the beef industry and for the veterinary profession, it is truly an honor for me to have you here.
Thank you, Dr. Dan. It's an absolute honor for me to visit both the university and Dr. Dan. Dr. Dan is the first colleague that I ever remember that gave me his business card when he was at Cactus and said that he was director of animal well-being.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's a really important emotion for me, because some of our veterinary colleagues, some of our stockmen do not understand how important animal well-being is.
Well, it all relates, and likewise, when we were at those meetings and things, and we're exchanging ideas, we kindled a friendship and really got down, and we're doing some good work.
This is a dynamic organization, and it's important to understand that the best way to teach, the best way to learn is to teach, and the more we teach, the more questions we have.
You got that. Well, let's talk about low-stress cattle handling and kind of talk about, you know, the introduction to the caregiver and some of your core principles.
Dan, when I used to go to a feedlot or a backgrounding yard or a ranch, as I drove into an operation, I saw people with the animals, and my definition in their mind that they were caretakers. And this caretaker word had its limitations. The more vaccine we gave, the more antibiotics we used, the more tools that were in my box, pretty soon I got disillusioned with the efficacy of some of those products. And so I started to look and think about maybe that human impact is what influences some of the variability in health performance at our operations.
So therefore, instead of a caretaker, let's start talking about caregivers.
I noticed that there were certain people that could take a product and get great response from it.
Right.
Maybe had a poor working facility, but these products or these management things really worked. And so I started watching how that person interacted with the animals. And all of a sudden, I noticed that they were able to move animals or do something with these animals in such a way that he was giving to the animals rather than taking from them.
And hence?
Hence, performance and health and attitude got better.
That's awesome. Hey, when we come back from break, we're going to discuss more with Dr. Tom Nofsinger about low-stress cattle handling and the caregiver. You're watching Doc Talk. We're sure glad you joined us.
This segment is brought to you by Tarwater Farm and Home. Come on by, we'll treat you like family.
Nobody gives you more ways to play and more reasons to stay than Prairie Band Casino and Resort. 3 great restaurants, Players Club benefits, plus an award-winning golf course. Go for it. You'll find something new and exciting every day, just north of Topeka off Highway 75.
Prairie Band Casino and Resort. Go for it!
The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine is a leader in food animal research and education. Our researchers are constantly expanding the knowledge of animal health and food safety. Through the Veterinary Health Center and the Kansas State Veterinary Diagnostic Lab, we provide practical services for animal producers. Home of the Beef Cattle Institute, the college is committed to animal welfare training and research. The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine, knowledge and service for the future of animal production.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Purple Wave is a proud supporter of the Kansas FFA through the Bid for Blue program. Purple Wave donates a portion of the proceeds earned on certain ag assets to the Kansas FFA. Winning bidders can designate a Kansas chapter to receive the donation. To date, Purple Wave is proud to have donated over $10,000. Visit purplewave.com to learn more and to place bids on Bid for Blue assets. Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information. This segment is brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook. Stop by or visit us at sftmeats.com.
Hi there and welcome back to Doc Talk. Dr. Dan Thompson here with my friend and colleague, Dr. Tom Nofsinger, who is a veterinarian and a member of the Professional Animal Consultation Group, which consists of veterinarians from Nebraska, Kansas, and Colorado. And Dr. Tom, we're discussing some of your core concepts. We've discussed the caregiver, and now let's move a little bit further about what it is about the caregivers and what they do.
Dr. Dan, what I noticed was that people that moved from being a caretaker to a caregiver were the people that were willing to adjust their position or their body language or their posture to the point where it was very, very friendly to the cattle or the swine or the sheep. And in fact, what I was able to notice was that cattle just crave to see what is guiding them. And at the same time, they crave to see where you intend them to go. So the most efficient stockmen that empowered these animals to move in a voluntary fashion were the people that could understand that they had to be where it was easy for the animals to see them.
So when we talk about the point of the shoulder, or different things, landmarks on the animal that we've talked about, what are your concepts on that?
That confused me for a long time because I used to use the shoulder as a point of orientation, the fact that the shoulder might be the point of balance to these animals. And that's a reference point, but really the organ or the part of the animal that we're communicating with is the eye.
Now let me hold on one second, because for our non-producer viewers, when we're talking about the point of balance, that's the point that when I go past it, the animal either reacts forward or goes back, right?
That's right. And so if in fact your intention was to stop the animal, I guess you would expect to be behind the shoulder.
Gotcha.
And if you wanted the animal to go forward, or vice versa, that's what's confusing about it. Now we know a couple important things. First of all of these four-legged animals want to remain straight. And so, in fact, if you can create a position or a relationship with that animal where they can continue to see you and keep their head straight, that eliminates that need for them to turn or twist in order to be able to see you. That is the first indication or demonstration to these cattle that you're very respectful, and that you're willing to put yourself where they want you and where it's easy for them.
And releasing pressure?
We might talk a little bit about the working zone or flight zone, and I think it's important to know that that's the distance around an animal that either you get response or you don't.
So when they notice you?
That's when they notice you. That's when they tell you that you're close enough and you're starting to interact with them.
The flight zone then would be larger for animals that are a little more skittish, or?
Every animal has a different size and shape of a working zone, not a flight zone.
Okay.
Our goal is not to get them to flee. We'd like them to work for us. And that the boundary between non-working zone, being in the working zone and out of the working zone, is a very gray area. And that's where we get release of pressure.
Cool. When we come back from the break, I want to pick up and maybe we'll show some videos on this topic.
Okay, that'd be a good, yeah.
Sure glad you joined us today.
All right, thanks.
We're really glad that you joined us as well. We'll be back in a minute.
Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
This is the fast track to more jobs and America's energy independence. Advanced performance is here, now. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine is a leader in food animal research and education. Our researchers are constantly expanding the knowledge of animal health and food safety. Through the Veterinary Health Center and the Kansas State Veterinary Diagnostic Lab, we provide practical services for animal producers. Home of the Beef Cattle Institute, the college is committed to animal welfare training and research. The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine, knowledge and service for the future of animal production.
Tar Waters has what you need for all seasons for around the farm and home. Working, hunting, growing, feeding, snow removal, even fun for the kids. And a service department with experienced techs to help keep your equipment in top running condition. Tar Waters has a huge selection and the best prices. Tar Water Farm and Home, family owned and operated since 1978. They have what you need.
We've been using the Multimin on our donor cows, and after we started using it on them, we've seen a definite increase in grade number 1 embryos. I like the results that I get using Multimin with the AI conception rate.
Their minerals not up to snuff, you're going to have problems, and I definitely think Multimin is good for, you know, general healthiness of the cattle.
We think Multimin more than pays for itself.
Dr. Dan here. Whether I'm driving up and down the roads covering the state of Kansas, or I'm getting between Riley and Manhattan for my job, I'm driving a Ford truck. I'd like you to come out and visit my friends here at Dick Edwards Ford. They have a truck that'll suit your needs, whether you're looking for power with a Power Stroke diesel, or if you're looking for fuel efficiency with the new EcoBoost engine, they got a truck that's just right for you. They're located 2 miles east of the Town Center Mall in Manhattan, Kansas, and they'll bend over backwards to help you. And I'll see you down the road.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply.
This segment brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Hi there, folks, and welcome back to Doc Talk. Dr. Dan Thompson here from Kansas State University, and I'm joined by my friend and colleague, Dr. Tom Nofsinger. We have been talking about low-stress cattle handling, and Dr. Tom, you know, you travel, you have video footage, and sometimes the best way to see that work zone, that pressure and release of cattle, and what you're talking about is through video.
Yes, Dan, it's a blessing to have young caregivers teach me. So I've learned most of these things by watching people do these things that are better than I am. So it's really, I've got some video that I think will give us an illustration of the working zone.
Well,
position, distance, angle, and speed.
Well, let's go ahead and pull that video up and take a look.
So what you see here is a young caregiver. Jared's job is to remove the yellow steer from the pen, and you notice the gate is up the hill. You notice that he didn't circle around behind the steer. He's approaching the steer between the gate. I mean, he's taking the steer essentially away from the gate. The point is, when that steer moved, that horse backed up. When he stopped, the steer stepped toward him. As you see that steer is telling Jared that if you'll stay out to the side of me so that I can see you easily with my right eye, I'll go any place for you. What's really nice about this, Jared and this steer is essentially willing and able to volunteer to travel toward the gate and really not changing the rest of the cattle. Now the steer is at the gate and says, "What can I do for you?" This head posture, when a steer stops and looks back at you, he's really, really asking for guidance.
And every time that steer, after they press forward, put pressure, and the steer goes the direction he wants, he's backing up, allowing that steer to...
Absolutely. The steer's asking for stimulus here. Jared doesn't want to point the horse at him, so he side passes. That's enough gentle pressure. The minute the steer moves, he moved away. Now, the steer's saying, "Please come up where I can see you," but he doesn't want to bother the other cattle, so that's the only time Jared really stares at him. And that drives the steer around, and he stops symmetrically with his front feet fairly well spaced, and the steer is willing to set. He set the parking brake on this animal, and as Jared goes to the gate, the steer straightens his head and said that's much more comfortable. Now, he's able to fulfill the requirement that cattle want to see what is guiding them and want to see where you want them to go. And notice when Jared's leg gets right at the front of that eye, that steer knows that he has to leave, and he volunteers and belongs out of that pen.
Incredible, isn't it?
It's really a special chance to communicate effectively with animals.
Well, you know, when you start to think about the point of balance, the work zone, the flight zone, and releasing pressure, so many of these core concepts that you've shared with us today are just incredible.
It's really important to know that whatever animals do while you're there is your responsibility.
They're reacting.
They're going to do what you ask them to do. Wherever they go, they go there because of what you did.
And sometimes we may ask them to do the wrong things.
Sometimes we have to stop and say, "That's me."
I'm sure glad you're here today. And we're sure glad you're joining us too. We'll be back more with Dr. Tom Nofsinger. You're watching Doc Talk, and we're sure glad you joined us.
Dr. Dan here. Whether I'm driving up and down the roads covering the state of Kansas, or I'm getting between Riley and Manhattan for my job, I'm driving a Ford truck. I'd like you to come out and visit my friends here at Dick Edwards Ford. They have a truck that'll suit your needs, whether you're looking for power with a Power Stroke diesel, or if you're looking for fuel efficiency with the new EcoBoost engine, they got a truck that's just right for you. They're located 2 miles east of the Town Center Mall in Manhattan, Kansas, and they'll bend over backwards to help you. And I'll see you down the road.
Purple Wave is a proud supporter of the Kansas FFA through the Bid for Blue program. Purple Wave donates a portion of the proceeds earned on certain ag assets to the Kansas FFA. Winning bidders can designate a Kansas chapter to receive the donation. To date, Purple Wave is proud to have donated over $10,000. Visit purplewave.com to learn more and to place bids on Bid for Blue assets. Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine is a leader in food animal research and education. Our researchers are constantly expanding the knowledge of animal health and food safety. Through the Veterinary Health Center and the Kansas State Veterinary Diagnostic Lab, we provide practical services for animal producers. Home of the Beef Cattle Institute, the college is committed to animal welfare training and research. The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine, knowledge and service for the future of animal production.
I'm Dennis Tebow. My wife and I, Kathy, are the owners of Wolf Creek Cattle Company. We have grown to approximately 70 bulls.
I'm Reese Arnold. I'm the livestock manager at Wolf Creek Cattle Company. You know, these are not just like normal cattle. These cattle, they're hauled anywhere from, 8 to 10 hours a day across the United States and asked to perform. Multi-Man 90 keeps them kind of level. It maintains and balances their system. The stress level is less when, when everything's right and working right, then they're working right.
Roy Fry Western Lifestyles brings the cowboy or cowgirl out in all of us. With a huge selection of must-have items, it doesn't matter if you're shopping for your horse, picking up some Western accessories to add that rustic charm to your home, or simply treating yourself. The knowledge and expertise to dress you your Western best is right here at Roy Fry Western Lifestyles, Highway 24 and Kansas Avenue in Topeka.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply.
This segment is brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, just a short drive down the Yellow Brick Road.
Hey there, folks. Welcome back to Doc Talk. Dr. Dan Thompson here with Dr. Tom Knopfsinger, and we're discussing low-stress cattle handling. Dr. Knopfsinger is a member of PAC, or the Professional Animal Consultant Group, here out of Kansas, Nebraska, and Colorado. And Dr. Tom, during the break we talked a little bit about the basics or the basis for stockmanship.
I think, Dan, it's a big responsibility to know that animals are going to go where you send them. And the foundation of effective stockmanship or low-stress handling is effective communication with the animals. And to be effective, we need to understand how to send message to the cattle efficiently. The first thing that we've noticed is that cattle or sheep or pigs or any of these prey species are not verbally based.
Right.
They don't have a word for go. So you have to take away all voice. So we try to remove all human voice, all whistling, all of that commotion out of the equation.
So in other words, yelling and screaming and whistling.
It took me a while to figure out that cattle are like people and they can only think of one thing at once. And so if cows are walking and somebody screams at them, they have to stop thinking about walking and think about what you said, and then everything stops.
Yeah, sometimes speaking louder does not make it more understandable.
I agree. I agree. I agree. And so, so if we do not have the opportunity to use voice or whistling or loud vocal commands, what tools do we have left to communicate? And they're simply our posture, our position, how far away we are from the animal, the working zone, and then all of the things that we use as far as angles. A 45-degree angle tells an animal a very strong message. Moving your shoulder speeds cattle up. Moving it this way can slow them down. If I stand like this, it'll almost push the fence down. In contrast, I can turn around and do this, and the cattle are willing to come by.
Yeah.
So it's really important that we know that they notice smaller movements than we notice.
Yep. Well, I've heard even in humans, 93% of all communication is nonverbal.
That's a good point, Dan.
And
I always wondered why a lot of times I couldn't see the caregiver's eyes. When they're wearing that big old black hat and they don't want to visit with me, I can't find them. They're like this. But if they want to interact with me, at least they will look up.
Yep.
Okay? I mean, it's very subtle sometimes.
Yep, and how we interact not only with people, but I think it's really amazing that, leading from the front, different things of that nature.
It's really at the end of the day, it kind of helps you start to understand maybe the difference between a cowboy and a shepherd.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you being here and sharing your thoughts.
It's been a pleasure.
Yep. Folks, this is this is the first part of a two-part series, and so this is kind of to be continued. If you want to know more about what I do here at the College of Veterinary Medicine, you can find me on the web at www.vet.ksu.edu. Remember, we always recommend that you work with your local practitioner. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson from the College of Veterinary Medicine at Kansas State University. I've been joined by Dr. Tom Knopfsinger. Thanks for watching Doc Talk, and I'll see you down the road.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
We'll have lots more for you tomorrow on Ag AM in Kansas. We're here every weekday, same time, same station. Or look for us on the web at agaminkansas.com. Eric Atkinson here from K-State Research and Extension.